Hello and welcome into LMU Community TV News. I'm Ashley Hurley. Thank you for joining us. A sport management program is a concentration that provides rigorous curriculum for understanding management principles of professionals in the world of sport. To tell us more about the program, we sat down with Dr. James Hurley, Dean of the School of Business at Lincoln Memorial University, and here is what he told us about the newest addition to academics here on campus.
The program is sport management, and a lot of people, so we want to make sure we start off right and call it sport management, because I always call it sports management because it's so many different sports. And so it's sport management, and it will be at the undergraduate, graduate, and professional level. And we have hired a fabulous professor to direct the program, Dr. Reggie Overton from the American Sports Academy. And Dr. Overton's job will be he has now created the program, he's developed the curriculum, we've submitted to SACS, board approval, everything's approved, and now we're ready to move forward in the undergrad and the MBA, at the undergraduate and MBA level. So basically what sport management is, it's for those students that want to stay in sport, that want to continue a career around sports. For example, a lot of our student athletes, when they graduate, they still want to remain involved in the sport that they love so much. And even though some of them may not be able to have the opportunity to go on and play professionally, they want to coach, or they want to become an athletic director or a Parks and Rec director, or YMCA director, all those things. And so the sport management degree is really that degree that those employers are looking to hire. So a lot of our student athletes obviously are really excited about the program, but this isn't just for student athletes, I'm sorry. This is for anyone that has a love for recreation or a love for sport, and you don't have to be an athlete to degree in sport management.
Academic coursework and experiential learning opportunities within the program will prepare students for a variety of possible career paths that include sports marketing, management of professional, collegiate, or amateur sports organizations, sport public relations, and event management. Now tune in on Thursday when we will be speaking with Dr. Hurley about the master's degree in sport management. Medical students at Lincoln Memorial University DeBuss College of Osteopathic Medicine are helping raise awareness for the American Heart Association. Osteopathic medical students and physician assistant students gathered in the shape of a heart on the hill in front of LMU's DCOM to promote American Heart Month. Through February, students will be hosting several events in the area to raise awareness of the importance of maintaining a healthy heart. DCOM is an authorized training center for the American Heart Association. Last Friday, students were at the New Tazewell Walmart performing wellness checks that included screenings for body mass index and blood pressure.
We're here at Walmart today doing blood pressure check screenings and wellness visits or wellness care for the community. It gives our students the opportunity to really get involved with the community, gives them exposure to patient care. They really see how important it is to do basic things like checking your blood pressure, checking your weight, and it's just a great learning opportunity for them. This is the first event that I've been here with them, but we are working on doing more events with Walmart and other places like Food City, just to get more of the community involved, let them know about our clinic, and give them information about healthcare events we're doing at the school. We have CPR classes and information for the community to take home.
We are celebrating American Heart Month, which is February, and we are here at Walmart New Tazewell engaging people in education about heart disease, and we're providing free blood pressure checks and BMI checks. So this is a really great opportunity to kind of get in front of people, talk about the dangers of heart disease and what they can do about it, because it is the leading preventable cause of death in the United States. And Claiborne County and the surrounding areas, we have higher than average incidence for heart disease, and so we're kind of doing our part to increase the awareness here in this area. Osteopathic medicine, one of our tenets, is really about patient education and prevention, and we've found that the more people know about their health risks, the earlier they come to the physician, have a meaningful conversation about that, then healthier outcomes can come out of it. So that's why we're here giving them an opportunity to explore their heart health risk and follow up with their PCP or whomever they see for their care.
The student-led DCOM Community Wellness Program will join with the American Heart Association Training Center to teach students CPR in various schools throughout Claiborne County. The program, which has been active since October of 2015, has trained and certified over 250 students at Claiborne and Cumberland Gap High Schools in CPR. LMU students, faculty, and staff all came out to attend a night of live entertainment at the 3rd annual LMU DCOM Talent Show last Thursday night. The talent show is hosted by the Student Osteopathic Medical Association. The event takes place inside Duke Hall in the Sam and Sue Mars Performing Arts Center. The proceeds from the event go toward multiple community service events such as the Mobile Food Pantry and the Heart to Heart program at Middlesboro Elementary School. This week, 4 students from right here at Lincoln Memorial University will be traveling to Washington, D.C. to take place in several different events. Students Lindsay Helton of Middlesboro, Carrie Orrick of La Follette, Jacob Sweat of Pikeville, and Justin Fugit of Rogersville, Tennessee, will be singing the Battle Hymn of the Republic on Friday at the Lincoln Memorial. Before that, on Thursday, the students will sing at the Military Order of the Loyal Legion of the United States Black Tie event. Lincoln Memorial University President B. James Dawson, Vice President of University Advancement Cynthia Witt, Assistant Vice President Dr. Evelyn Smith, Abraham Lincoln Library and Museum Coordinator and Director Thomas Mackey, Director of Alumni Services Sheila Cosby and her husband Marty Cosby will all be in attendance at all the events. The alumni event is scheduled to take place in Alexandria, Virginia this Thursday. LMU alumnus Marty Cosby and Congressman John Duncan's wife and LMU staff member Lynn Duncan will carry the LMU flag as Dr. Dawson places the wreath at the memorial on Friday. Friday's SOAR Executive Board meeting was the first with Governor Matt Bevin as co-chair. Board members heard from leaders across the Commonwealth on efforts to shape our Appalachian region. Governor Bevin told board members and people in attendance that he is committed to the vision of SOAR, saying his budget fully supports the initiative. Bevin's budget is a sticking point for House Democrats. Bevin is committed to cuts despite predictions from state economists that say that Kentucky will have an extra $900 million over the next 2 years. Several East Kentucky judge executives appeared Friday to voice support for a bill that would send more coal severance money back to coal-producing counties.
Judge Brock is part of the SOAR committee, and we were talking during our conference while we've been gone, and he was talking about doing a motion for a resolution for the legislatures to give more of our coal severance money back to the counties. And so we decided that the more support he had here to come up here, so there's several county judges here, a lot of Masters Physical Court members here that are here to support him, because we're at a time now that we are desperate to have more of our coal severance tax money back because of the way it's cut. It's, when you're down anywhere 50, 60, 70% of your income that comes into your county budgets, we have to do something. So we're hoping for a resolution today from the SOAR committee to the legislatures and the governor for more coal severance coming back to our counties.
The board heard from leaders in academia, medicine, technology, and other fields who shared their visions for Eastern Kentucky's future. Congressman Hal Rogers called the meeting one of the most productive in SOAR's history. Governor Bevin also said on Friday he wants to downsize a proposed 3,400-mile fiber optic network meant to make high-speed internet possible throughout the state. Coming up after the break, a milestone was celebrated on campus last week. To find out what the community honored, keep it right here on LMU Community TV News.
I come from a big family. I'm the oldest of 6. To me, being the first person to go to college, it's like setting a standard, My little brother is 8 years old now. I challenge his curiosity. I challenge him to dream. I have to paint a picture for him that he can look up to and live up to and possibly be better than. My name is Jaquez, and I am your dividend.
Todd's a great guy. I mean, look at him. What a sweetheart. Attaboy. Wait, Todd, what are you doing? How totally selfish and un-Todd-like of you. Come on, Todd. Come on, man.
Wednesday night during the Lincoln Memorial University basketball games, the community was invited to enjoy the game but also celebrate Tex Turner Arena's 25th anniversary. At halftime of the men's game, Lincoln Memorial celebrated the 25th anniversary of the first basketball game ever played at Tex Turner Arena that took place February 2nd, 1991. During that game, the Rail Splitters and Lady Rail Splitters hosted Alabama Huntsville for a hoops doubleheader. In a twist of fate, while celebration was taking place, the Rail Splitters celebrated their 250th all-time win within the confines of Tex Turner Arena. Under the lead of Coach Josh Schertz, the Rail Splitters are a 108-12 inside Tex Turner Arena in the coach's 7.5 years leading the team. The arena replaced the Mary Mars Gymnasium, which had been the home of LMU basketball since 1948. Tex Turner Arena is 87,000 square feet with over 5,000 seats, with another 1,000 portable seats for events such as graduations. The arena is also used for practice facilities by other teams such as soccer, lacrosse, baseball, and softball teams. The arena was named after former LMU football and basketball standout B. Frank Tex Turner, who donated funds for its construction. Work on the multi-million-dollar facility began on May 7th of 1988, and on February 2nd, 1991, the first games were held inside. The National Council of State Boards of Nursing released in January that the class of 2015 Bachelor of Science in Nursing at the Kaler School of Nursing earned the highest pass rate of any nursing school degree in East Tennessee. Students in the Bachelor of Science in Nursing at LMU received a 96.39% pass rate in the National Council licensure exam for registered nurses that far exceeded the national average of 84.51%, the Tennessee average of 88.95% also. Tennessee students in LMU's Associate of Science in Nursing program earned a 92.11% pass rate, also exceeding the national average of 82%. For an ASN, students taking the NCLEX RN. The NCLEX RN exam tests knowledge, skills, abilities, and competencies essential to being a practicing nurse. It is the licensing exam for registered nurses. Nursing is the largest undergraduate major at LMU. Enrollment in the CSON has increased exponentially in the last few years as new programs and concentrations have been added. The CSON offers a variety of options to meet nurses' career goals, and you can log on to LMU's website, lmunet.edu, to see that complete list. A man who reported to authorities that he was attacked by a large animal this past September has been indicted on felony charges of a false report. 27-year-old Michael Savage of La Follette has been indicted by the Campbell County Grand Jury on charges of felonious report to an officer following a claim that he was attacked by a large animal while walking along the road in the White Bridge area near La Follette. He was arrested last week by the La Follette Police Department on separate charges and is being held on a $30,000 bond. He is scheduled to appear in court later this week on those charges. Well, coming up after the break, Adam Haley has your complete sports update with news that you don't want to miss. So keep it right here on LMU Community TV.
You think getting dumped by text is harsh? Try getting dumped by a tennis ball. My ex-owner drove me out to the woods, yelled fetch, and by the time I brought the ball back, he was gone. Yeah, I was pissed. But the folks at the shelter helped me let go of my anger. I learned coping skills, like taking it to the hole. Boom! Now I'm ready to fetch again. But how about I throw and you run and get it?
They said a bottle was just a bottle. That no one would ever notice me. But I knew I could be more. That one day, I would make people smile.
College. It can seem a million miles away. But what if you could get help with your tuition expenses? Get help filling out all those applications and finding a major that fits. All of a sudden, the impossible becomes possible. Visit collegefortn.org today. College. You can get there from here.
I'm Jenny Garth, and as a mother of 3, I know kids worry about a lot of things. Getting enough food to eat shouldn't be one of them. But here in America, that is a real worry for 1 in 5 children. This is unacceptable, and something Feeding America is working to solve. Through a nationwide network of food banks, Feeding America serves virtually every community in the United States, including yours. See how you can help your community. Visit feedingamerica.org. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're Feeding America.
Welcome back. The LMU basketball teams traveled this past weekend to Wingate, North Carolina for a doubleheader date with the Bulldogs. The LMU women lost the earlier matchup in the season at home and was looking for revenge as well as staying near the top spot in the conference. Wingate got out to an early start, leading after the first quarter 14-8. LMU pulled back to within 2 points in the second quarter, but a 13-8 Bulldog run at the end of the half put Wingate up 30-23. Wingate continued their dominance in the third quarter, ultimately leading after 3, 47-39. LMU made their run in the fourth, tying the game up halfway through the quarter and then taking the lead on a Josie Harding jumper. Wingate's Morgan McGee hit a free throw with 23 seconds left to send the game to overtime. In the overtime, neither team got any farther ahead than 3 points. Wingate led by 3 with 11 seconds when Kiara Rawls found the net from three-point range to send the game into double overtime. However, in the second OT, the Lady Rail Splitters ran out of gas, shooting a lowly 9% from the field and falling to Wingate 83-74. Harding led LMU with 20 points and 18 rebounds in the loss. LMU falls to 13-8 overall and 10-6 in conference play. The 5th-ranked men's team was going into their game with Wingate knowing they had already defeated the Bulldogs once, but this game would be different as Wingate had already knocked off 3 previous top 20 teams at home earlier in the year. For the first 8 minutes, the Bulldogs kept it close, and then LMU went on a 33-12 run to blow the game open. LMU would lead at the break 52-32. The Bulldogs would start the second half on an 11-8 run to bring the deficit down to 17, but that would be as close as they would get. The Rail Splitters put on another clinic in the second half, increasing their lead to as many as 40 before finally winning 107-74. Jalen Still led LMU with 32 points. Still, Jarrell Simmons, and Luquan Choice combined for 74 points, which matched Wingate's team total. With the win, LMU improved to 20-2 overall and 16-0 in conference play. The two teams will hit the road again this week when they'll travel to nearby Greenville, Tennessee on Wednesday to face Tusculum College. The women's game will tip at 6 p.m. with the men's scheduled to tip at 8 p.m. LMU Sports Network will have coverage starting at 5:40 p.m. on 91.3 FM WLMU. The LMU softball team kicked off their 2016 season over the weekend in Savannah, Georgia as part of the Pirate Classic held by Armstrong State. Game 1 on Saturday did not go the way of the Lady Rail Splitters as they lost to conference foe Catawba College in a non-conference game 9-4. The Indians scored 6 runs in the third to pull away from LMU, while Carly Tysinger picked up the win in the circle, allowing only 1 hit while striking out 10 in 4 innings of work. LMU's second game on Saturday was against host Armstrong State, and once again it did not fall in LMU's favor. LMU tied the game in the top of the 7th on a Savannah Couch 2 RBI single before Armstrong's Logan Harrell singled in the winning run in the 8th. On Sunday, LMU tried to even the score with Armstrong State, but the Pirate offense was too much, scoring 3 runs in the 5th and 3 more in the 6th to win 9-3 and to send LMU back home winless on the weekend. Samantha Smith took the loss in Game 3, going 5 innings and giving up 7 runs in 12 hits. Now at 0-3 on the season, the Lady Rail Splitters were scheduled to travel to Wise, Virginia on Wednesday to face UVA Wise for 2 games, but those games were postponed to a date to be named later. They'll now get ready for the CSU Cougar Classic this upcoming weekend in Columbus, Georgia. The LMU baseball team started their season in Aiken, South Carolina as part of a 3-game set with the Pacers of USC Aiken. The Rail Splitters dropped Game 1 8-2 after the Pacers used a 2-run 6th and a 3-run 7th to pull away. Brandon Jean took the loss, going 5 innings and giving up 4 runs on 6 hits. LMU came out better in the second game, scoring 4 runs in the first inning on a catcher's interference call, a base on balls, a hit by pitcher, and a wild pitch. They added 3 more runs in the 6th, highlighted by a Gene Rodriguez single and a Seth Hunt single, and LMU went on to win 8-1. Ethan Elliott picked up the win on the mound, allowing 1 run on 5 hits in 7 innings of play. Game 3 on Sunday would come down Drew Dramatics. Trailing by 1 in the bottom of the 9th, USC Aiken's Max Schoen hit a solo home run to tie the game. And then at the bottom of the 10th, Aiken's Zach Moon hit an RBI fielder's choice to win the game 5-4. The baseball team took on Claflin on Monday afternoon and then will return to the Lamar Hennon Field for a 3-game set against Ohio Valley this upcoming weekend. The men's lacrosse team started their season as well this weekend when they played host to Emmanuel Saturday afternoon. The Lions got on the board first as Craig Marinette found the net with 35 seconds left in the first. The Lions would add another goal to lead 2-0 after the first quarter. Adam Golia brought LMU back to within 1 with a goal 43 seconds into the second quarter. Emmanuel's Justin Mills scored to put the Lions up 3-1 with 9:47 to go in the first half. And then LMU took over, going on a 10-0 run that would last until 3 minutes left in the game, and the Rail Splitters moved to 1-0 with a 12-4 victory. Adam Golia led LMU with a career and program-high 6 goals. The men will now have to wait a week before their next game as they'll face Mercy on Saturday as part of a doubleheader. The women's lacrosse team will start their season as the back half of that doubleheader when they play host to Asbury. And, of course, those are all weather permitting. Super Bowl 50 is now in the books, and for the 3rd time in history, the Denver Broncos are champions after they defeated Carolina 24-10. Denver took an early lead after a Brandon McManus 34-yard field goal, and then a Von Miller sack of Cam Newton forced a fumble that Malik Jackson covered in the end zone to give the Broncos the lead 10-0. And that would be the story of the game, as Denver's defense accounted for 7 sacks and 4 turnovers. Denver's Miller was named Super Bowl MVP after 5.5 tackles, 2.5 sacks, and 2 forced fumbles. Peyton Manning finished the night 13 of 23 passing for 141 yards and 1 interception. The victory gives Peyton his 2nd Super Bowl championship and his 200th career victory overall, which now puts him at the top of the list for most wins by a quarterback. And finally, late last week, Phil Blevins resigned from Hancock County as their head football coach. Blevins led the Indians to their best season this past year as they finished 5-6, more than doubling their best output for wins in a season, which was 2 before last season. Blevins cited personal reasons as the reasoning for stepping down after the trying season it was for him and his family after they lost their son Dakota in a car crash during the season. Brandon Gibbs was named the new head coach the same day. Gibbs was the defensive coordinator at Hancock County over the past 8 seasons. Now, while this is the first head coaching job for Gibbs, Rail Splitter Nation may remember Gibbs from his time as the cross-country coach for the university from 2003 to 2007. Now, that's all for sports, but stay tuned after the break as Joseph Lewis will let us know if Kung Fu Panda 3 was good enough to hold off Caesar, Nicholas Sparks, and Zombies when he brings you the box office report when we return here on LMU Community TV News.
They're coming. Places, everybody.
Light check. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Everything looks good on our end.
And lights.
Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
They said I have troll teeth.
That my voice sounded like a possessed baby doll.
That no one would ever love someone as stupid as me.
That I was fat, ugly.
Disgusting.
The effect of bullying is potent.
We will no longer be the silent majority.
Now, when you see online bullying, there's something you can do about it.
We're gonna take action with the I.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness, and so are you.
This is the story of a boy who is very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. It made him feel uncomfortable. One day, he found out he had something called autism. His family got him help, and slowly, he learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Me and my boy Matt had it good. He had catnip that was off the hook. But one day, he brings a girl home, and she's allergic to cats. Every sneeze was a nail in my coffin. Now I'm in a shelter. It's decent, but they don't even have Wi-Fi.
Hello, I'm Joseph Lewis, bringing you all the latest information in the world of movies. Tops at the box office on the biggest sports weekend of the year were led for the second time in a row by Kung Fu Panda 3, adding $21 million onto its now $69 million domestic gross. Although the film is accumulating money at a slower rate than the previous two entries in the franchise, its generally positive reception and its lack of family-friendly competition over the next few weeks should point to its long-term success. Following at number 2 was newcomer Hail Caesar, the Coen brothers comedy headlined by an all-star cast including Josh Brolin and George Clooney, pulling $11 million over the 3 days, meaning that the film has already made back half of its surprisingly low $22 million production budget. Although the film's unconventional narrative and bizarre sense of humor has divided critics and audiences, the film is quickly headed toward profit, though possibly not as much as one might expect considering the star power its marketing is centered around. And rounding out the top 3 was The Revenant, adding $7 million onto its now $149 million domestic gross. Losing no steam in the wake of multiple Oscar nominations including Best Picture, Director, Actor, and Supporting Actor, the film has officially grossed more than double its sizable $135 million budget, solidifying its favor with audiences on top of near universal acclaim from critics. Meanwhile, coming in at number 4 was veritable movie of the moment Star Wars: The Force Awakens, still making waves at the multiplex after 8 weeks of release and adding another $6.8 million onto its astonishing $905 million domestic gross. Worldwide, the film has totaled more than $2 billion, now placing within the all-time top 3 behind James Cameron's 1-2 punch of Avatar and Titanic. Although The Force Awakens has several weeks left to go in its theatrical run, it remains a question mark as to whether or not topping Titanic's $2.1 billion and Avatar's $2.7 billion will exceed even the extensive grasp of Star Wars. For more information on the film's continuing box office success, be sure to visit www.boxofficemojo.com. As for the weekend's other new releases, the Nicholas Sparks romance The Choice came in 5th with an underwhelming $6 million, the weakest opening for any Sparks adaptation thus far, while the tongue-in-cheek genre mashup Pride and Prejudice and Zombies started its run with a low $5 million and a number 6 opening slot, apparently unable to appeal to fans of action, horror, or classic literature. After only 1 week of release, the disaster drama The Finest Hours and the Marlon Wayans starring parody 50 Shades of Black are already beginning to slip into obscurity, each making less than $5 million this weekend, while the Natalie Portman starring Western drama Jane Got a Gun seemingly never had a chance, its weekend total coming out to a dismal $127,000. So far, it has been sort of a flash-in-the-pan kind of year at the box office, with only Kung Fu Panda 3 pulling good numbers over the course of multiple weeks, and many titles, including Dirty Grandpa, The Boy, and 13 Hours, basically disappearing after one solid weekend, though this coming Thursday's release of Deadpool should shake things up. That's all for today in the world of movies. I'm Joseph Lewis.
And that is going to do it for us for this week's LMU Community TV News.
I'm Adam Haley. Thank you for joining us today, and we'll see you again on Thursday.
And for everyone here at LMU Community TV, I'm Ashley Hurley. Have a great week.